Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool Autism Life. My name is Jamie. Today's video, I wanted to talk about grief, and it's not like a grief that you are grieving somebody who's passed away. It's grieving little moments, and I was watching a podcast from some gentleman in the UK who they have a daughter and a son, respectively, that is autistic, and they were talking about this whole idea of if somebody had given you a pill and said you could, change them to typical, would you? And they were having this discussion. And as they were talking about how they would, like, one of them was 100% on board. He was like, I would give the to them, but he said that the first, like, he was like, I'd take time off, and the first few days before we gave him or her the pill, I would want to do all of the autistic things that our children do, because I know that they wouldn't want to do it anymore. So in my case, it was, okay, if that happened, we would absolutely be doing like a party game and on the Connect, and we would be watching Sesame Street with him, and we would be bouncing around and doing like all the things that make our children, but they're the autism part, right? And it hit me when he said that, because I was like, yeah, you don't, in all the conversations about that, you never really think about what you're losing if you did that. And I know it's all hypothetical and stuff, but let me put it in terms that are not hypothetical. So my son is 18, and theoretically, he would be graduating this year. And this weekend, we went to our friend's graduation. Their son graduated from high school, and they had a whole ceremony. They did the whole, like, all of it, right? And there's moments in this life where you grieve what could have been, and you don't think about it until it's suddenly smack right in your face. Oh, right. He would be graduating this year. He would be doing the things that a typical 18-year-old would be doing, if not for this piece of autism. And it's something that I really felt surprised by, because I was there to celebrate Hudson and his accomplishments, and so it was good to go. But there was a moment where I was like, oh my goodness, yeah, like, technically I'm supposed to be that parent who's pushing my kid through the whole process of graduation and planning what he's going to do with the rest of his life, and I'm not. And so you have a little moment to yourself where you're like, and that's okay. That's okay. My story is different. My Darian story is different than Hudson's story, and that's 100% okay. But you do have a moment where you're like, oh my goodness. And in that moment, I went back to that conversation with those fellas, and it was right. But, there are hard things. There are very, very hard things that happen, and it's not an easy road to take care of a child with autism or a grown up with autism. But at the same time, I would miss him. I would miss him. I would miss the things that he does. I would miss the hugs. I would miss even the 2, 3, 4 in the morning things, which I don't really feel right now. I will admit, but I recognize that he is the child that I have, and I love him as the child that I have, or as the adult that I have. I can't look at him in any different light and go, okay, snap my fingers, make him all better, and I wouldn't miss him. I would. So it's a very interesting juxtaposition. It's almost, you feel some things on one hand and other things on the other hand. And so I think the big thing that I wanted to share in this video is just, it's okay to feel those things. It's okay to be like, oh my goodness, he should be graduating and he's not. And it's also okay to just remember that if you had the magic pill, or if you could snap your fingers, you would also miss the child that you have right now. And so in that thought of mind, or that frame of mind, you can go about your day and go, this too is a blessing. This too has things that I am thankful for and joyful for. And again, the dog next door was all quiet when I started. I'm so thrilled to have that little bit of a mental check, to say, you know what, no, you would actually miss this as well, which might surprise you a little bit, but it's 100% true. It's 100% true. So yeah, I just wanted to give this as like a little reminder, because I think it's so easy to get sunk into the things that they're not doing and grieve that and wish for something different or hope for something different. And at the same time, you're like, but in this version of my child is no less valuable. And you have taken the time. You've taken the time to get to know them and love them and take care of them and appreciate them. And it's really easy to fall into the trap of comparisons. Even a comparison to what normal Darian or typical Darian would be versus the autism Darian. And it's really easy for us to get like pulled in that. But this idea that they've stolen our hearts as they are, and that's something that we would integrally miss, is something that I thought was such an interesting idea that I had never really articulated or thought, and yet 100% true. So there are times, and there will be times moving forward, where we grieve the loss of normal. We grieve the 4 in the mornings. We grieve the messes and the frustration on their face when they can't explain to you what's going on in them, in their brains or in their minds. But at the same time, it's really important that we, as their parents who truly love them and love them to pieces, also recognize that those kids have stolen our hearts and we love them no matter what. And it doesn't always make it easier. I am definitely not saying that. But what I am saying is that, again, that mental shift is not necessarily a bad thing for us when we're in the middle of the 4 in the mornings. So I hope this video has been a help and an encouragement to you. It was something that I had not fully fleshed out in my mind until I had heard someone else say it, so I wanted to share it here. And yeah, it has given me a little bit more perspective when it comes to what I want to share, when it comes to, you know, I always talk about mindset, but this was a mindset that I hadn't fully really contemplated, even in the what if scenario. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.